TIFU, my wardrobe choice ended my relationship. So, a little about me. I'm a pretty expressive and sometimes a bit flamboyant guy. I'm tall and was in the military, so I have that background. But I also have a softer side and am comfortable showing affection with my friends. Just putting it out there, I'm straight, but I'm just comfortable in my own skin. And a few weeks back, I was shopping with a buddy and we stumbled upon these really awesome shawls. We couldn't stop thinking about them. He went back and bought them last weekend, and now we both own these amazing shawls. Mine gives off a total Star Wars vibe, and his is more like something from a Western movie. Seriously cool pieces. The first night we wore them out to a local bar, all the guys there were giving us props, thought they were awesome. Later, this girl and her friend showed up, invited by my shawl-wearing friend, and they were totally weirded out by our shawls, like making strange faces and whispering comments. Whatever, their loss. My girlfriend called wanting to chill at my place, so I said goodbye to the shawl haters and my buddy and headed home. I was still rocking the shawl when my girlfriend arrived, and she was also really taken aback. She wouldn't even kiss me until I took it off. We hung out, went to sleep, and the next morning she starts grilling me about whether I'm gay, and she was super serious and intense about it. I told her I'm not, and if I was, I'd probably know by now. Her big evidence was the shawl. Anyway, she got really awkward and left, then texted me later saying sorry, that she needed to think about the kind of man she wants, and then just went silent for days. So I invited her out the other day, and she was all flustered, talking about how she likes manly men and how she grew up in a small town and is trying to adjust to city life, but she's just not sure about things. Eventually, I just politely told her to get lost because I was honestly pretty offended at that point. On my way back after we parted ways, I got this long apology text from her, but the gist was that, yeah, she's just not feeling it anymore because of the shawl. Later, I told my shawl buddy about all this, and it turns out the exact same thing happened to him with the girl he was seeing that same night we went out in our shawls. But you know what? We're both keeping the shawls. They're comfy and they look awesome. So yeah, me and my friend apparently bought cursed shawls, and now we're both single. Fashion truly is a dangerous game. Dumped over a shawl? Seriously? Some people can't handle peak fashion. If you want more relationship train wrecks, hit subscribe right now because we've got you covered. TIFU, by having my Reddit history roasted on Jimmy Kimmel Live. This is still surreal, but it actually happened to me yesterday, and I'm still trying to process it all. It started pretty innocently. I posted a side-by-side picture comparing a dog to the actor William H. Macy because the resemblance was uncanny and hilarious to me. Honestly, I thought maybe a few people would chuckle, but I never in a million years thought it would blow up like it did. Next thing I know, it somehow makes it to the front page of Reddit, which for me is already insane because I've never had a post get that much attention. I was already riding a wave of disbelief and mild internet fame when I woke up the following morning. Then my phone started blowing up with notifications and YouTube links. Confused, I started clicking on them and discovered my post was featured on the latest Jimmy Kimmel Live show during a segment with Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian. I was completely stunned, like actually on TV, talking about my post. They were riffing on Reddit and user content, and then unbelievably, Jimmy Kimmel started browsing my profile live on air. Now, I'm generally pretty careful about what I post, but a few days prior I had left a comment on a particularly NSFW TIFU post. It was just a comment, nothing crazy, but at a quick glance it probably looked a lot worse out of context on national television. Keep in mind they showed my username on screen too. Jimmy made a joke about it, implying my history was full of questionable content. It was mortifying, and my inbox is now flooded with weird messages from people who saw the clip. I'm not sure if this is a true TIFU, but it definitely felt like one in the moment. Part of me is still freaking out, but honestly, it's a wild story to tell, and no regrets really. I guess this is my 15 minutes of internet fame, brought to you by a dog that looks like William H. Macy and Jimmy Kimmel. TIFU, my stomach issues caused a courtroom evacuation. This just happened about 5 hours ago, and I'm still mortified. So today started rough. I woke up with terrible cramps. That lovely monthly womanly curse combined with some questionable spiced chicken I ate last night that just wasn't sitting right. I made several trips to the bathroom before work, but it calmed down a bit, so I took some medicine, toughed it out, and headed to work. Now, my job involves working within the prison system and escorting inmates to various locations, including courtrooms. This is where everything went south very quickly. I had to escort a prisoner to the witness stand in an open courtroom and stand right next to her. Everything was normal until my stomach started acting up again, big time. I was fighting with every fiber of my being to hold in a fart that was definitely brewing, but I knew I was losing the battle, so I tried to let out a super silent one, thinking I had managed to get away with it. That is until the prisoner I was escorting suddenly started coughing, gagging, and yelling, "What the heck is that smell?" I immediately realized what had happened, but I absolutely could not admit to unleashing such a foul, putrid odor, so I started wrinkling my nose dramatically and pretending to gag along with everyone else. The court clerk, who was nearby, walked a little closer to investigate, and then retched so violently she had to bury her head in the trash can. By this point, it was getting loud, and chaos was breaking out. Definitely not what you want in a courtroom, especially in front of the district judge. He quickly told me to take the prisoner back to the closed dock and declared it must be a problem with the pipes. He then adjourned the entire court session and called in maintenance to inspect all the pipes for leaks, cracks, anything that could possibly explain the smell. The prisoner still had tears in her eyes from the stench. I was still pretending to gag convincingly, and the clerk was trying to recover with a glass of water next to a trash bin. So yeah, court was adjourned for over an hour while they searched for the source of the smell. Little did they know, the source was back down in the cells, hanging her head in shame, and later regaling her co-workers with the story of the mysterious leaky pipe upstairs. Weaponized farts causing courtroom evacuations, you literally cannot make this stuff up, folks. TIFU, by accidentally being a Nazi online for 15 years. So I just found out on Reddit of all places that my username, and the one I've used for pretty much everything online for over 15 years, is apparently linked to Nazis because of the numbers 1488. Seriously, 15 years. I had no clue. Apparently it's some kind of white supremacist code. I got banned from our Ask Reddit for it, which is how I even found out. Completely baffled, I made a post about it on another subreddit, trying to figure out what was going on, and in a moment of dark humor, changed my display name to something like Nazis Stole My Birthday. Surprisingly, our Ask Reddit actually unbanned me after seeing that post. Now, talk about a roller coaster. But then, the post about my username blew up, like really popular, and because of that, I somehow got a 3-day suspension from Reddit for circumventing my ban on our Ask Reddit. It's all a bit of a blur. Then this morning, I woke up to find that my original post had been altered. Someone had gone in and edited it to include a ton of incredibly offensive racial and homophobic slurs, along with violent threats, and it looked like it came from me. I swear it wasn't me. I have absolutely no idea how that happened. I know some people won't believe me, and honestly, I get it. If I saw that, I'd be skeptical too. But I can honestly say I would never say or even think those things. My original intention was just to share my bizarre story, and the whole thing just spiraled way out of control. Some misguided person thought it would be funny to hijack my post and make things even worse. I know I'm responsible for what happens on my account, but those vile statements were absolutely not written by me. They've understandably upset a lot of people, and I genuinely wish I could apologize to everyone directly. This whole thing wasn't some kind of stunt for attention or internet points. Again, I know some won't believe that, and that's fine. If you're curious, you can probably dig up my original post in that other subreddit where I was trying to understand why my username was offensive in the first place, and you can look at my post and comment history across my accounts, old and new, to see that this kind of hateful stuff is just not me. Honestly, I'm just done. I think I'm gonna take a break from Reddit for a while, maybe for good. This has been way too much. 15 years with a Nazi username and no clue? That's a major internet facepalm moment. Has anyone else accidentally stumbled into online drama because of something they didn't realize was problematic? Share your stories in the comments. TIFU accidentally spent a year talking into the void on Reddit. Today was the day I realized just how badly I messed up, and how long I was completely clueless, just chalking it up to my content being terrible. For the past year, yes, a whole year, I've been diligently commenting on other people's posts and creating my own, and for a year I haven't received a single upvote or reply to anything. My karma has been stubbornly stuck at 885 for what feels like forever, so I just figured I was incredibly uninteresting online. Still a strong possibility, let's be honest. Last month I started getting suspicious. I tried viewing my own posts through guest accounts and realized they weren't showing up at all. Yet on my own account I could perfectly see my comments and posts. It was bizarre and confusing. Finally it dawned on me to actually contact the Reddit help team Turns out my IP address was accidentally caught up in some kind of action against spammers. If you're reading this, it means they've sorted it out now. And if you aren't, well, I'm still living in my own personal Truman Show of Reddit. If you've got some time to kill, and who are we kidding, you definitely do if you're on Reddit, feel free to browse through my post history and witness the year-long saga of zero human interaction. It's a testament to my obliviousness. Seriously though, I can't believe it took me a year to figure this out. All that time thinking I was just shouting into the digital abyss because my posts were boring. Turns out I was actually just muted the whole time. Talk about a facepalm moment. A whole year of posting into the digital ether, that's some next level obliviousness right there. If you've ever felt ignored online, smash that like button and subscribe for more relatable fails. Have a good one, folks.